John Rocker says, or is quoted as saying, the biggest thing I don't like about New York are the foreigners. I'm not a very big fan of foreigners. You can walk an entire block in Times Square and not hear anybody speaking English. Asians and Koreans and Vietnamese and Indians and Russians and Spanish people and everything up there. How the hell did they get in this country? That's John Rocker on the, you regret that? Are those quotes accurate?
If the entire conversation had been published, then no. And first of all, let's get one thing straight, because we broke up about 2 years ago. My ex-girlfriend, 3.5 years, is Korean, and her parents are off the boat Korean. Mother still can't speak English. So, but yeah, saying Asians and Koreans, they're all Asians. Yep. Idiot. Yeah, so we kind of messed that one up, but low the sense of a 25-year-old brain. It was the full conversation was about assimilation, and don't mind foreigners at all. I would say sitting here, I don't know your background. I know my background. I've lived in Venezuela playing winter ball for about 5 months. I've lived in Puerto Rico 4 different times over the years playing winter ball. Live in Dominican. Again, don't use absolutes very much, and I don't know your background, but I would guarantee you I've got a lot more foreign friends than you do. People from Australia, Europe, certainly Latin friends. I mean, you can pick my phone up right there, and there's probably no less than about 15, 18 people that I have their numbers in my phone who are Latin guys. First language is Spanish. But those guys are my dear friends because they've assimilated. Most of them, after a playing career, whether they got married here or however it is, they live here now, they're citizens, they work, have a family, but they assimilate themselves to our culture. They got done playing. They didn't want to go back to Dominican. They didn't want to go back to Mexico or Venezuela. They wanted to stay here. They have built a life here under American lifestyle principles, under American values. They've, of course, learned the language, the customs, and they raise their kids to be Americans. What I'm speaking about with can't speak English, it's not you can't, you won't, or you literally can't because you don't have enough respect for America's culture to learn the language, when you know good and well, I'm never going back to where I came from. I'm never going back to China. I'm never going back to Laos, Vietnam. I never am. But I'm going to move here. I'm going to segregate myself from American culture. I'm going to recreate my little Vietnamese community here in New York. I'm only going to be around Vietnamese people, only consume Vietnamese cuisine. I'm not going to celebrate Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Thanksgiving. I'm going to just a big to American culture. And those kind of folks, I got a problem with it. When I lived in Puerto Rico 4 different times, I went to, and it was usually over the holidays, as obviously winter ball, the 3 Kings Day parade, which is like their big Christmas celebration down there. I went every year. And I went with my Latin teammates and their families. My Spanish is not very good anymore, but it was pretty good back then. When I was down there, I probably spoke Spanish. When I'm in restaurants, I'm in their Latin culture, I'm speaking Spanish as much as I could. I would say 70% of the time, ordering food, asking directions, just in general conversation with someone, that's your native language. I'm in your house. I'm going to ask you to change for me while being in your house. And and I think that's where the woke culture is getting turned on its head, is you're having, and sometimes grossly underrepresented minorities asking everyone to change for them. If you vote with your feet to come here, and when I get on this plane, I ain't going back. I'm going to raise my family here. I'm going to take advantage of everything America has to offer. It is disrespectful, it is rude to not assimilate yourself, and if you want to truly achieve the American dream and receive everything America has to offer, assimilation is the only way. I mean, if you come here and I'm never going to learn the English language, never am. I hope you're good at manual labor, because you're going to have a hard time doing much else.